little things that my mom does. Like, I remember when I had to move out of my apartment that I was living at while I was in college. We had to move out suddenly, and I was so stressed out. Like, I didn't know what to do, and I was like, how am I gonna like get all my stuff moved out in time? My mom drove all the way from Dundalk to Dublin with her car, and she helped me carry all my stuff into the car. Just little things like that. Like, she's always there to help out in any situation, and it's just great to be able to call someone, and like she's just always there. It's great, and she does her best for all of us, and really, really appreciate it. Happy birthday, Mom. We're so glad that we're here. We're all here together to celebrate your 60th, the big 6-0. We're so grateful for you, and we're so grateful for all the things that you've done for us. We really, really appreciate it. You've done so much for us, and you've just taught us so much, and we're so grateful. We love you so much, and we hope that you have fun tonight. Lots of dancing, and we pray that there'll be many more years to come.
Does the birthday girl think that mothers are failing in their most important duties, raising the children up positively?
I wouldn't say that categorically. I wouldn't. The reason is that every parent wants the best for their children. Every parent does. How they get there is just the problem there. The way they get to having what they want for their children. Some people may get it wrong, while some may get it right. And that is why I said motherhood is the privilege from God. And getting to, achieving your goal on your children also is a privilege. I believe with all my heart that all parents, all mothers want the best for their children. But some may get it wrong, like I said. And I will expect that if any mother is having problem with their children, they should have somebody that they will confide in and say, well, what do I do? This is what is happening. What do I do? If it's somebody that can help, it will go a long way other than keeping it to themselves, till it gets out of hand. But to say that, some mothers are failing, it is not of their making. I wouldn't say it's of their making.
What about mothers' recklessness on social media?
Well, whatever we do, either on social media or in real life, there should be moderation. That is what I will say. There should be moderation. Anything that is taken into excess will come back hurting us. Like Nigeria today, you have to limit what you do on the social media. Especially if we portray yourself as somebody who is well-to-do, who people can look up to. It could come two ways. It's either you are exposing yourself to danger of kidnappers, of armed robbers, and all that, all the negativity that comes with it, the crime in Nigeria. Or, you have more people asking for your help, even when you don't have the means to do it. So I believe that whatever you have to do on the social media should be minimal. Should be minimal. I will say I am on it for political reasons. I am on social media for political reasons. And at the initial stage, when I joined, I was there for my children. Because I discussed with my husband, and both of us said, the best thing is to be there to monitor what they do. Because you cannot tell with these children. You might think you are having it good with them in the house, and behind your back, they are doing something else. So if you are on their neck at every angle, you are able to actually see who your children are in real life.
And about some mothers who would rather spend their money buying clothes for parties instead of training their children?
I will say that whatever earthly material things they're running after will perish. It is the legacy they leave for their children that will go on to the generations to come. So I think they have to look at it down the line, look at the effect of their own actions now on their children and on the children's children to whatever generation they will live. So whatever happens to their children will have effect on the grandchildren, great-grandchildren, and so on. So I will advise such mothers to think twice. Think of the everlasting legacy rather than the perishable things that they're running after. And like we said earlier, mothers are role models. Whatever you do, whatever your children see you do, is what they will end up doing. It will be difficult for a mother who sleeps around, for example, to tell the daughter not to. To be difficult for a mother who smokes and drinks in front of children to tell them not to do the same. There's no moral justification for that for her. Since she's showing the example, she's only telling the children that, well, when you grow up, you can do it too, regardless of the effect on their health and so on.
They get noted that parents should join the society in disciplining a child going out of order.
Firstly, I would say it's a fear of failure on the part of the parent that acts like that. The fear of, oh, people are going to say I didn't train that child. So they're always on the defensive. But the result is that they are killing that child slowly. Because when a child acts wrong, instead of you finding out, getting to the bottom of it, and making sure that you correct it, but you are backing the wrong thing, the consequences will not be palatable at the end of the day. Because that child will grow up to believe that he's always right. Whatever I do out there, they won't believe it. They will always be on my side. It's not going to help that child. And the mother will suffer for it. The mother will suffer for it at the end of the day. Because you are not training the child the way you're supposed to train the child. A child should be able to take responsibility for his or her action. And I believe that parents who act like that don't learn responsibilities themselves. Because I don't see anything wrong if I offend you and I apologize. There is nothing wrong in it. That is where humility comes in. If you know that you have wronged somebody, apologize. When you do that, the child will learn from it. I will even ask that child to apologize in front of that person. I believe that's the way to go if you want to bring up a healthy child.
As a community leader, what advice can she give to young parents raising their children to be positive assets to the society?
That for you to have disciplined, well brought up children who will grow up to be successful adults, you must first commit them into God's hand. I don't care what anybody says. If God says no, no one can say yes. So you first commit them in God's hand. You have to be interested in everything they do. It is hard work. And that is what some mothers don't see. That this is hard work that they have to put their head into. I remember when I was raising these children, because of my educational background and because of the training that I've gone through, I know the stages of growth of children. So before my children gets to the next stage of life, I'm already there. And I know what to expect. And I know how I'm going to handle it. For example, when they were growing into their teenage years, I knew they are going to start, to have interest in music, have interest in Hollywood actors and actresses. I was buying magazines. I kept up to date with whatever was happening in Hollywood at the time. So I will be the first to bring up the discussion, around that, around music that they should not listen to. And I will let them know the reason. It was always a discussion, in the house. And I remember that every Monday, we always have fellowship in the house. After the Bible fellowship, we now review what happened last week, what went wrong, what went right. And we always admonish each other. So I think that helped me a lot. And they knew growing up that I am very interested in every step they take. So they always tell me, and I make sure that I'm their friend. When I discipline them, I let them know the reason why they have to be disciplined. And before I even say, before I talk of any rule in the house, we are together making that rule. Together. So they will be the one coming up with the consequences of their actions. I will just tell them, these are the rules, and they'll give me the consequences. So if you break the rules, I will apply the consequence. And I don't joke with that. I don't joke with it. So we are friends. Even though I'm their mom, I'm also their friend. So that, that goes a long way. And we advise mothers to make sure that their children are able to discuss whatever with them. And it's the way they handle it. You admonish your children in love. When they see that you are not doing it because you hate them, you are doing it because you love them, they will be free with you. They will be free to talk to you about anything. Because it's better for them to talk with you than to talk with somebody outside there. They will get wrong advice from outside. But with you, they are safe. So that's just what I will say. Plenty of prayer, plenty of supervision, ensuring that they are doing the right thing. And ensuring that when you say your child is somewhere, if they are checked upon, they will be fine.